Old Adobe School is a small school with about 300 students. It's a very closely connected community of students, staff, parents, working together for what they believe is best for kids. At the heart of our school, the success of our school really is the collaboration that happens between both kids and adults.
Having a discussion like that and listening to others see what they've been able to find in pieces of text or in images kind of opens up our mind a little bit and think about, oh, I never thought about it that way, or maybe even doing an argument kind of conversation between more than one person, and we've been collecting evidence and learning about sharing our opinion and either agreeing or disagreeing with other ideas.
Collaboration. It helps understand what people are passionate about, and it helps get other people even an understanding or for themselves to become passionate about it. No matter what it is. If it's a way that somebody taught math, or you're like, oh, I didn't think of that, that'll be better. That might work for my kids, I'll try that. Or if it's a new recipe that they tried from the garden. Well, kids are just little adults. I mean, they're all their own humans already. So they're learning all the skills collaborating. They're gonna collaborate for their whole lives. So they have to start doing that now. And standing up for their viewpoint and providing evidence. You know, constantly when we're having conversations in class, the kids are in groups and they're talking about things, and they might come to consensus or they may disagree on something. And then we have the great debate, is what we call it. And they have to stand up for their point of view and know that it's okay to, if there is a direct answer, like say it's a math problem, if there's a direct answer, know that it's okay to be wrong and then be like, oh, okay, I get it now, thank you, and then sit down. And if it's not a direct answer, if it's an opinion, it's okay to have different opinions.
To save the world from instability. All right, excellent. And take a bow. And come have a seat down right here, Peter.
Has became a very good part of our school because we need to figure out things. We've done some plays. Last year we did internal organ play, which we had to either say our lines in a very creative way to like my friends and I were a part that was supposed to be very funny, and it was a raging hormone, which you have very different emotions. You have multiple emotions, so your emotions are changing throughout the play.
Yeah, that was
and
fun.
So I had to be mad, sad, very happy, and then just very droopy. So I've had to bring in my creative emphasis to bring that oomph to the play.
We do so many things. We do young writers, we do spelling bee, we do reading incentive programs that encourage involvement with text. And if we can do that from our TKs to our 6th grade, and they still love reading when they leave, we've done a job. The library has done what it was meant to do.
So what you're most proud of is instilling a love of reading,
That's right.
a lifelong love of reading.
I've always been a reader, and I want others to feel that excitement about a book, and they do. When they come in at recess, and they're not in here to just talk, they're in here to talk about books. If I listen to a conversation, it's a conversation about a book. If I listen to, and boys, girls, young, old, it doesn't matter. that's what they feel. Who gets that in a job? Who gets that satisfaction? I mean, when we started, a library was just run by volunteers, parent volunteers. When I first came as a parent, there was no library. I got a cart, put books on it, and took it around from class to class until the board approved a room that had been used for storage that we could put a library in. In 2005, they built this beautiful library, and we thought, how are we ever going to fill it up? We are overfilled. But we do things we do activities that focus on the library, and I think that helps. Story nights, book club with parents and kids. During the summer, we do summer school that involves the library. I mean, the library is an important part of every class's program.
Well, this was back when my oldest was in kindergarten, so she's been here through the whole 7 years, and I was looking for a school that had great academics, of course, like every parent is, but I was more interested in a place where she was going to be nurtured and love learning. Because I feel like that is the point of elementary school, to get them to love to learn. And Old Adobe seemed like a place where everybody knew each other. The size of the school was incredibly appealing to me. I didn't want to go to a bigger school. I wanted a smaller school. And the teachers just seemed to be so caring. The front office staff was caring. The principal was great. The librarian was great. So just checked all the boxes for me. You know, Annabelle did really well in preschool, but my second, Calvin, I was incredibly nervous to send him to school because he didn't love preschool as much. He was less interested in going to school and being separate from me. So having him in Kathy Westfall's class was amazing. All of a sudden, he wanted to go to school. It was like he barely even noticed when he ran away from me to get in line in the mornings, and he just loved it. Practically from the beginning. Well, the parent volunteers are incredibly welcome. I feel like we're really unique in that, and that parents are welcome on campus, that they're really stakeholders in what's going on here. Teachers really welcome parents being involved in classes. So it's funny, when my daughter came here, I had been very involved at her preschool, and I said, I'm just going to sit back for the kindergarten year and sort of get the lay of the land and get to know people before I volunteer for anything. Well, as you know, by the end of her kindergarten year, I was already going to be on the district school board, so that didn't work very well. And PTO. And that was because the parents are so good at bringing in the newer, younger parents to get involved. And it's not just the stay-at-home moms. Parents who work, do all kinds of things, contribute in different ways. I think the communication with parents is really good. I think they feel like they have a family here. I think they feel like all the teachers, not just the teacher that is their classroom teacher this year, cares for them and is looking out for them and knows who they are as a person. I think that they would say that they have, lifelong friends here. I think that they feel like all of the parents sort of know each other. I had my son got stung by a bee at lacrosse practice the other day, and I had several Old Adobe parents calling me before I even got there to let me know. So I think they feel like there's this whole network of adults who are caring for them, and that's
for the children to learn how to do that and grow their own food and know where their food comes from, and to how well that integrates with all the science and writing and everything else that we do out there. I think it can reach every academic subject, and it itself is an academic subject.
Spark, the dream, the garden. We remember the beginning. It started with an idea, a spark in the darkness that turned into a flame in the night. The piles of mold that we shoveled and got in our shoes. The sweat, the work, the payoff. We started first grade, beginning our lives at school, beginning the garden, an idea, small but strong, started from an experience. Black Adobe, first grass, and a map up in the office is the garden we imagined. It slowly turned from a piece of land, covered in dirt, to paradise, a masterpiece, a garden. One step further, second grade. much cardboard and a whole bunch of home. The garden. And our lives here at school. Third grade. Planter boxes coming. About 1/3 of the amount we have now. A vast amount of strawberries, lettuce, kale, tomatoes, and various seeds. This was the first season, the beginning, where we watered with rudimentary drip lines instead of an irrigation system. Fourth grade. Bigger playground, bigger kids, bigger garden. The second planting season began with a new drip system made from a hose with holes. Fruit trees were planted, big, olive, apple, to provide a boundary and windscreen for smaller plants. More things were planted as the garden grew with us and our spirits. Fifth grade, we built more. A compost area was developed, and blackberries were eradicated along with tumbleweeds. Weekend garden days became a regular activity to enhance the garden. Sixth grade, the present year, our last year. Weeding was done and more maintenance with spreading mulch in soil. Willow arches were added, complementing our garden. The trees were planted, the sheds were built. Our hands will never be clean from a garden that will never be done. No, a garden will never be done. Plant, water, harvest, repeat. We remember the beginning, the map, the dream, the spark, the reality. But we will never remember the end, because there will never be an end. There will always be more growth in the garden, in the plants, in our hearts. First grade, sixth grade, all grades. The garden has grown, and us with it, as we learn about ecology and the changes within it. As we learn about ourselves. Humans aren't immortal, but gardens last forever, as long as we continuously nurture the edible garden, our garden.
Parents are telling me that their kids are eating vegetables that they never thought would ever even be allowed in their house. And now their kids are like, oh no, I grew that, let's try it. And they're also, parents and kids are cooking together more, because the kids are bringing home the vegetables and then they have to look up a recipe to go with whatever random vegetable that they brought home. So they're doing research on what would be the healthiest way to prepare that vegetable, or the most delicious, depending on the mood.
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea. Yes, you two work on. It's been a year.
Hi, he's excited.
Remember.
You do, huh?
Well, let's let him walk around, okay? Don't pick him up. Let him go.
That's the human. Before you work around this way, let's go. He's
excited.
staring at you, Brandon. No, don't.
Aubrey, let him walk.
Let him have. Brandon, no, you picked him up. He's coming. Guys, back up, guys. I never know I could kill me.
Or not to be? That is the question.
Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of our rage fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to save the end.
The heartache and the thousand natural shocks, that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation, devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub.
For in that sleep of death a dream may come. We have shuffled off this mortal toil, must give us pause.
There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Her who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely. The pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes. When he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin, who would Fartles bear?
To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but at the dread of something after death.
The undiscovered country, from those whose born no traveler returns, puzzles the will.
It makes us rather bear those ill we have, and to fly to others we know not of.
This conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought.
And enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard, and their currents turn awry.
And lose the name of action. year. Last year. No, bye guys. Bye. Is this a root coming out from there? Goodbye.